What if I told you that everything in your life, your success, your health, your happiness, is a direct mirror image reflection of your own thoughts? It sounds kind of radical, right? But that's the core idea from James Allen's 1903 classic, As a Man Thinketh. It's a tiny book with a huge message. You are the master of your mind, and because of that, you are the master of your destiny. Right from the get-go, the book opens with this poem. And this isn't just some nice, fluffy sentiment. It's the entire argument in a nutshell. Allen is telling us that our mind is the master power, the thing that shapes and creates. And everything else, our environment, our circumstances, that's just a looking glass, a reflection. So let's dig into that. What exactly is this master power? Well, Allen builds his entire philosophy on one single foundational idea. And once you really get it, it changes how you see, well, pretty much everything. This is it. This is the central thesis of the whole book. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And he's not just talking about your mood or your general attitude. No, he means this literally. Your thoughts define the entirety of who you are, down to every last detail of your life. Just think about how profound that is for a second. You are literally what you think. Your character isn't just something you're born with. It's the complete sum of all your thoughts. Every thought you've ever had, encouraged, and focused on has built you. You are the sculptor of your own soul. So, if our thoughts are the raw material, what's the first thing we build? It's our character. Allen uses this beautiful metaphor, calling it our inner garment, and it's woven thread by thread with every single thought we choose. And here's exactly how that process works. It all starts with a hidden thought, like a seed planted deep in our mind. Then that thought blossoms into an act. And finally, that act bears fruit, which becomes the circumstances of our life. You see, it's a direct line from seed to fruit every single time. So who's in control of all this? We are, completely. Our mind is like a forge, an armory of thought, and we're the blacksmiths. We can forge weapons that destroy us, thoughts of anger, fear, and doubt. Or we can forge tools that build a beautiful life. The choice of what we create is always ours. And make no mistake, the stakes are incredibly high. This isn't just about having a good day versus a bad day. Allen says that every thought is a choice between two paths. We're either ascending towards our highest potential or we're descending. It's that serious. Okay, so our inner world, our character, is shaped by our thoughts. But what about our outer world? Do those two things stay separate? Not a chance. Allen's next big point is that our circumstance is simply a mirror, perfectly reflecting our inner state back at us. This is probably one of the most powerful metaphors in the whole book, the garden of the mind. And here's the key part. That garden is always going to grow something, always. If you don't consciously plant beautiful flowers, useful, pure thoughts, then useless weeds will just take over on their own. So you have to ask yourself, which garden am I tending to right now? Am I cultivating a paradise, or am I just letting the weeds run wild? This right here is a massive shift in perspective. So often, we think of ourselves as victims of our circumstances, right? But Allen just flips that completely. He says circumstances don't make us, they reveal us. They're just a feedback loop, showing us exactly what we've been growing in our own minds. And this quote just drives that point home perfectly. We can want a better life all day long. We can wish for success and happiness. But reality doesn't respond to our wishes. It responds to who we are, to the deep, abiding thoughts that make up our character. And here's the trap that so many of us fall into. We get so busy trying to change our external circumstances, or fighting the effect, while completely ignoring the cause, which is inside us. As long as we refuse to improve ourselves, our thoughts, we're just going to stay bound. Okay, so we get the theory, but how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's take a look at how this philosophy directly solidifies into real, tangible results, like our achievements and even our health. So, a thought doesn't just instantly become a reality. It's a process. A persistent thought crystallizes into a habit, and that habit then solidifies into a circumstance. Look at the two paths here. Thoughts of fear and doubt, they become habits of hesitation and inaction, which solidify into a life of failure. But thoughts of courage and self-reliance, they build habits of action which solidify into a life of success and freedom. It's a clear, predictable chain of creation. And this power isn't just limited to our bank account or our job. Alan argues that it extends directly to our physical health. It's simple. The body is the servant of the mind. It listens and it obeys. So just like thoughts of fear and worry can literally make us sick, strong, pure, and happy thoughts actively build up the body. They create health. Alan puts it so bluntly, he says a sour face doesn't come by chance. It's made by sour thoughts. So where does luck fit into all of this? Well, according to Alan, it doesn't. At all. He just dismisses it completely. Every single achievement and every single failure is the direct result of our own thoughts. The only way to rise, to conquer, to achieve, is to first lift up your thoughts. So if we really do this, if we apply all these principles, where does this path ultimately lead? It's not just about getting more stuff or being successful in the traditional sense. The true peak of this journey is mastering your mind to achieve a very specific and very powerful state of being. So what is it? What's the ultimate goal of mastering your thoughts? What's the final jewel of wisdom that this whole practice offers? The answer is serenity. But this isn't some passive, spaced-out state. He calls it one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. And it's not something that just happens to you. It's the result of long, patient effort in self-control. It is the ultimate prize for a mind that has learned to govern itself. A person who gets to this state of mental poise is truly powerful. They don't get flustered, they don't worry, they don't get angry over little things. They understand the laws of their own mind, and because of that, they can adapt to anything and anyone, and they remain poised, steadfast, and serene through it all. And this really is the final equation. Self-control isn't weakness, it's strength. Right thought isn't just positive thinking, it's mastery. And that calmness, that's true power. In the end, Alan leaves us with this incredible image. He says the world is your kaleidoscope, and all the different pictures it shows you are just reflections of your ever-moving thoughts. So the question isn't what the world is going to show you next. The question is, now that you know you hold the power, what picture will you create?